OP's employee tells him he's gay, and things take an unexpected turn. Reminder: I am not OP. Original post by you, I am confused 007. Spoiler: unexpected but wholesome. Less than. AITA for not reacting right to a colleague telling me he is gay? February 8, 2022. I feel like I could be in the wrong here, even if I don't understand why. To be honest, there have been incidents in the past where I have unwittingly been rude without intending to. And there are some social norms that escape my understanding. Which is why I would appreciate some impartial, unbiased input, and I'm posting here. One of my colleagues, H. Technically I am his boss. Not sure if that matters. Came into my office today. I have an open door policy to encourage team members to come forward and share their ideas. So this was not that unusual. H came into my office and said, "I am gay." I thought he would be saying something else. So I waited for him to continue. After a moment I made a sound of assent to make it clear I heard him. But he still didn't say anything. Since he was staring at me, I assumed he was trying to convey something I wasn't understanding. Here's where I might have messed up. The first thing I said. My friend specifically scolded me because this was the first thing I said. Was to ask if he had had any insights in marketing to that demographic. We work in a marketing firm. H said he hadn't. I asked him if he was getting married and needed time off. This too, I have been informed, was an assholish response. H said he wasn't married. I finally said that if H had nothing else he wanted to discuss, he should leave as I had a meeting starting in a few minutes and needed the office. He left. Shortly afterwards a mutual friend scolded me and said I was a right asshole for the way I responded to H. AITA for how I responded. If so, could you please explain what I did wrong? What should have been the right response? How I can fix this? Update: he's my brother-in-law now. January 19, 2023. I never really thought I would ever post an update, but I wanted to share the good news. Nearly a year after my junior colleague H unexpectedly came out to me at work. He's become engaged to my brother. At the advice of this forum, I had a follow-up conversation with H to ensure that he was not facing any type of harassment or discrimination, and try to understand what prompted his exclamation. It fortunately nothing major, and as H seemed to find the conversation embarrassing. A month later, my parents finally got to courage to ask J, my father's assistant, about adoption. My parents had met Jay several years ago when he was huddling by the side of the road. He had aged out of foster system, but due to lack of support he could not get a job and was homeless. My parents had invited him to spend the night, and he has been working as my father's assistant ever since. Jay has been like a second son to my parents for a long time. And after a late-night conversation when Jay opened up to how alone he sometimes felt because he had no family, my parents asked him how he would feel about adult adoption. I wasn't there when they asked him, but at the family dinner afterwards it was very emotional and long overdue. However, as the days went on, Jay seemed to get more and more anxious and seemed to withdraw from us. Nearly a month later, he told us in a shaking voice that he couldn't go through the adoption because he had been deceiving us. He was gay. Now throughout all his time with my family, Jay had never dated. We all had assumed he was just shy or uninterested. Said it was heartbreaking to hear that he felt he needed to censor himself, and that he thought we would leave him if we knew the truth. It was a painful conversation but ended happily. And the next day Jay went with my parents to file the paperwork. At that time, my siblings and I were wondering how we could show Jay he had nothing to worry about. When I remembered H and asked him if I could share his email with Jay. I had been thinking that it would good for Jay to have a friend who was out. I never imagined they would start dating and become engaged. H came into my office and said, "I am gay." I thought he would be saying something else, so I waited for him to continue. After a moment I made a sound of assent to make it clear I heard him. But he still didn't say anything. Since he was staring at me, I assumed he was trying to convey something I wasn't understanding. How was Oop supposed to react to someone saying to him, completely unprompted and out of the blue, that they're gay? With no further context besides, "I am gay." I would have reacted the exact same way. "I'm gay. And that's it. Okay. I have work to do." What is the homie supposed to do? Cry tears of happiness or offer to hook him up with somebody he knows? The odds are fairly high that Jay was initially turfed into the foster system precisely because he was gay, and that's why he was so certain he'd be thrown away if he came out. It is likely it's happened before. Though reading that second post, I for sure thought that Oop was going to do something awkward, like assume that since he knew two gay men, now they should start dating. But he was just really trying to find a friend for his brother to relate to, and it's super pure. Oop did the math wrong and got the right answer somehow. I love it. He was trying so hard to figure out how the gay thing related to their work. And then his brother came out and he was like, "Okay, well, I know two gay people now, so they should probably hang out," and bada bing bada boom. New brother-in-law. He's a little confused, but he's got the spirit. I've worked most of my career managing people. Employees tell you the most astonishing things. I've been told everything from their sex lives to past crimes committed to shady financial shenanigans. If it's not work-related, the only thing you can do is say, "Oh?" Ask if they need help from HR. Then change the subject. The one thing you cannot do is discuss it with them. You can get into a world of hurt and company liability that way. Oh, okay, yay. Unexpected turn indeed, but so wholesome. I do wonder what prompted H to tell Op though. This was so cute, OMG. That was very odd. His employee came out to him in the workplace? I would have been as flabbergasted as Oop. I guess now he'll need that time off to get married. Hi gay. I am confused. I'm confused? Happy ending but S. Op blanked pretty hard there. Didn't he? If someone would just suddenly come into my office and blurt his sexuality out, I would personally immediately think that they're telling me their boss that because of some workplace drama. You know, anything from bullying to a workplace relationship. So I would probably, after a moment of thinking, carefully ask why they're telling me and if anything bad had happened that prompted them to share all of a sudden. Overall, a bit of a weird post? And a pretty quick engagement, seeing as there seems to have been less than a year of dating. But hey, if everyone is happy, that's great. Lovely. Congratulations to your brother and soon-to-be Bill. I love how both Oop and H work in marketing. And yet their whole interaction was hilariously awkward. Could be a scene from The Office. I have a coworker who is gay. When he finally mentioned it in conversation, he paused like he was waiting for a response or reaction, and I just kept going with the conversation we were already having. I didn't think it needed any further discussing. Really. I don't care who he's dating, and it has no bearing on our relationship as coworkers. Plus, I was a theater kid in a small town. A lot of people I know are gay, lesbian, trans, etc. It's not really a thing to me anymore. Honestly, every coming out story should be a non-issue like H. No one would think twice if H went to OOP's office and said, "I'm straight." They'd be like, "Oh, okay, Is there anything else? Because I have a meeting. Reads like a scene from Modern Family. I think your responses were perfectly appropriate, which is more than I would say for him walking in and announcing his sexuality. What a strange and stupid world we live in. Hi Dad, Mom, I am gay. Half of the world would want to kill you, or if they have mercy just shun you. The other half of the world says, cool. What do you want for dinner tonight? Thankfully I live in the cool world.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.